Hi guys, I missed our Freakies Friday, or our Frightening Friday, so I guess we'll just do it at random. But this time I wanted to tell you a story because it's kind of long, and I really hope I don't get in trouble because there's other people involved, and well, they don't like me very much. But anyway, it was a long time ago. I was I was living with a family here in the city that I live in, and they were living in an apartment, a two-story apartment, in which they would regularly hear feet or boots stomping up and down the steps. They would hear it pretty often. Okay, so later, I came into the picture and I started hearing it pretty often, and it would occur during the middle of the day, hardly ever at night. But there was a certain circumstances where we'd just be sitting down in the living room area watching TV, and we'd hear bump 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 up and down the steps, and so sorry, getting messages. So we start to get kind of scared. As fall approaches, it starts to get more prevalent. So there's one instance where we're taking a nap on the same bed upstairs, and we hear this little girl scream at the top of her lungs. Must have been, young girl, probably maybe anywhere from 7 to 10 or something. And she's screaming as though somebody's killing her, or she's seeing something horrifying. I heard it outside, because they were sleeping right next to a window. I heard it downstairs outside, and they heard it at the foot of the bed. Middle of the day, must have been 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, somewhere around there. So that frightened us awake. Okay, and we hear little creaks on the floor. It's old floorboards covered by carpet, so you hear every so often. So I was like, okay. Well, then the younger niece comes into the picture because the dad is working very, very long hours, and she starts, she's very young and she wants to sleep, with her relatives. She wants to sleep in the same room. But instead, she's sleeping outside the bedroom. And she's sleeping on this little cot by the stairs. She starts to hear things. This is her testimony. Granted, she was very young. She starts to hear things and see things in the middle of the night coming up and down the stairs. So of course she gets out of her bed and runs to her uncle and lays with her uncle in the bed. And of course he's happy to do it, because he, cares about her. And there was one instance where the front door opened by itself. I'm trying to recall because this was many years ago. Front door opened by itself, and was like, well, maybe it's the pressure, because maybe if you open one door inside the apartment, the other door creates like a suction. You know what I'm saying? So she's progressively getting into more and more trouble at the house. Things are getting misplaced. Things are moving around. Granted, she may have been doing some of it herself, but there are other instances where she's like completely just flabbergasted look on her face, like, I don't know what you're talking about, And every time something would go missing or something would happen, she would blame Nene. And she was so cute when she said it. Oh my God, her little nostrils would flare up every time she said it. Anyway, she's like, it wasn't me, it was Nene. I really hope I don't get in trouble for telling the story. Anyway, and so we were like, stop saying it's Nene. It's not Nene, it was you. She's like, I swear it was Nene. And so I start to notice a pattern that every time the person I was with would get angry, the situation inside the apartment would flare up. We'd hear the stomping. We would hear the floorboards being stepped on. Items would start shaking and moving. And you'd feel a heavy, heavy presence around you. Well, there was one instance where we got into an argument, and they took off, and there's something in his closet that I don't want there because I was a very jealous person. And so I go in there to try to get it and destroy it. It's memoirs from the past, of his past. And I go in there, and as soon as I go in to the closet is where it was. As soon as I'm going to grab it, this stomping up the stairs, and then there's the right behind me, and it's in his bedroom that this creaking happens. And I feel, the best I can describe it is thick energy hovering over me, behind me, and heat, lots of heat behind me. And I freeze up, and I'm like, I put back what I was getting, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to run. I don't know what the hell to do. So I turn around and I walk through what feels like cold, and I go out of the bedroom and I go down into the area where the stairs are, and right next to the stairs there's a bathroom. And as soon as I'm trying to dash out there, that bathroom door shuts. And I'm running down the stairs, and behind me is boom, 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 boom. And then the dishwasher door slams open, and you hear all the dishes rattle. And the downstairs bathroom door opens, and the front door opens. I'm trying to recall it as it was happening, because it was a matter of like seconds. So it was like, ka, boom, stomp, 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 stomp. And I run out the front door because something obviously is chasing me. But I correlated it after that to it flaring up every time he was upset. So it was connected to him somehow. And there lots of things happened to him in his youth. So it makes sense that something was connected to him. And so anyway, time passes and the same occurrences, the stomping. And then, why are you moving things around? It wasn't me. It was Nene. And then there was a situation where she was still sleeping in her cot. And she goes to her uncle's room because she's scared. And then the next day she tells me, she goes, I saw the devil and he said that he wanted to eat you. And I'm like, me? And she goes, yeah, he said he wanted to eat you. And I was like, are you upset with me or something? Is that why you're saying this? And she's like, no, I saw him. He said that he wants to eat you. He has red eyes and he was red. And he said that he wanted to eat you. And I'm like, I don't recall ever pissing anybody off, but okay. Later on they move out and they're, collecting all their things and they're going and searching on top of the refrigerator, and they find this little prayer card. I think it's a Virgin Mary prayer card. And it's written in Spanish. And on the back there's a little note. I forgot exactly what the note says, but at the very bottom it says, love, Nene. Nene. I shit you not. We were like, holy shit, that's Nene. The little girl could not have possibly been able to read cursive. She must have been no more than 5 years old. There's no way she could reach on top of the refrigerator. There's no way that she could have planned this. And they were like, holy shit, it's Nene. Nene was a real person, Later on, we come to find out that prior to this family living there was a murder-suicide in that apartment. Now, we don't know the details or the names or anything, but usually, when something horrific happens in an area, the area takes on that energy. And so, anyway, I just wanted to share that. And like I said, it's been many, many, many years since this has gone down. But there are lots of people that agree with the fact that when a person gets emotional, they attract entities or attract energies around them. So it's just funny that she would say that this red-colored devil demon with red eyes, was angry at me because every time this would flare up, it was always when he and I were getting into an argument. Makes sense with the heat, anger. I don't know. Looking back in retrospect, it is probably the most activity that I think I've ever experienced in one single area at a time, besides my parents' house. So, I guess we could call this the story of Nene. And if the little girl's watching this, I just want to say, hey, hi, how you been? And I just wanted to share this story. So I guess that's it for now, and I'll see you next time, guys.